Coming up on Fulton Today, the latest on the mailings of the new tax assessment notices. We'll hear from the chief appraiser. And what's next for the county's transit master plan as the last round of public meetings wrap up? We'll find out. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. It's the month that many Fulton County property owners have been waiting for. The time when the new tax assessment notices hit the mailboxes with last year's values. Now, you may recall Fulton commissioners reset values following an outcry from residents about the huge increases in the values on the initial notices that were sent out. Fulton County's chief appraiser is Dwight Robinson. Sir, welcome to Fulton Today. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
Well, you have had quite a busy few months. Tell everybody when they can expect for those tax assessment notices to be hitting the mailboxes.
Well, it's scheduled to go out the first week in August.
And Dwight, tell everybody what they can do if they disagree with their new assessment.
They will have 45 days from the date on the notice to appeal the value if they think that the value is wrong.
And many people have made their way to the various town hall meetings on this topic, but of course some were not able to make it. What can you tell them now about the assessments?
Well, what I've told them is that the commissioners decided at their June 21st meeting that they would revise the 2017 assessments and send new notices. That's all we've been telling them, and giving them their rights to appeal, of course, and letting them know how we came to this point.
And Dwight, can you remind everybody what will happen to the appeals that were sent in before you all send out the new notices?
Those appeals are now null and void.
And those with commercial properties, are those values being set to 2016 levels, or are they the same?
It's just residential parcels only. The commercial parcels will remain at the values that they were originally sent out at.
And let me get your final thoughts.
My final thoughts is that the taxpayers of Fulton County have gotten a reprieve, but values are still low. And in 2018 and 2019, we fully intend to make sure that the values we send out are fair and correct.
All right, Chief Appraiser Dwight Robinson, great to have you. Thanks again for your time.
Well, thanks for having me.
If you would like more information about the new tax assessment notices, you can log on to fultonassessor.org. Well, the transit conversation in Fulton County is picking up speed. Alpharetta residents gathered inside their city hall to provide their transportation vision to Atlanta Regional Commission and Fulton County officials. Now, part of phase 1 of the county's transit master plan, the public meeting was just one of several meetings that have been held throughout the 14 cities outside the city of Atlanta.
This is a ground-up approach where we're really looking for the cities and the citizens to help inform the county's future related to transit. So the series of public meetings is very specifically designed to help our citizens provide input on which corridors and which locations should be prioritized for future transit investment.
A second round of public meetings will be held in the fall to review the community vision, summarize the transit market analysis and needs, and provide an overview of existing and potential transit services.
I know we're number one with the job selection site, but if we want to keep growing, keep being the best place to do business in Georgia and technology city of the South, we need to add MARTA all the way up to Windward.
This is a once-in-a-generation time where we can make an investment that'll have a 50 or 100-year impact on this area. It's important that we do this now. We got a transit bill, infrastructure bill possibly coming up in Congress this year or next year. We need to have shovel-ready projects ready to go so that when the money becomes available, we can jump on it.
After last year's T-SPLOS referendum was approved by voters, the county's mayors and the commission affirmed that a plan was needed to determine potential expansion of transit services in Fulton County. Now, if you can't attend the public meetings but want your voice to be heard, just log on to fultoncountyga.gov/TMP-home. 18 months of class time, counseling, and therapy have all come to an end for a group of residents who are ready to start a brand new life. Family members and friends gathered in Fulton's Assembly Hall to watch their loved ones graduate from Superior Court's Adult Drug Treatment Court program. Now, this Accountability Court initiative is held 4 times a year and is designed to give defendants a chance to get clean with the support as long as they stay committed to turning their lives around.
When I first got to accountability court, I had been over in it's been like 25 years of drug addiction and criminal activity. I had went through a drug program before and I got the basics from them. But when I got to drug court allowed me to be transparent. They allowed me to work on issues that I never thought that I had, and then in the process I discovered who I was. I discovered what I wanted. I discovered that I got a passion for giving back.
To be eligible to graduate, the graduates must have clean drug screens for at least 180 days, attend group and individual sessions, participate in community service and work, or look for employment. Though their story is a positive one, getting through the rigorous program is no easy task.
You heard most of these graduates, it's been a year, 2 years that they've been drug-free, showing us that the program works, and more importantly, showing the community that treatment works, that we're getting them back on the street as productive citizens, reunited with their families, working hard and free of the addiction.
The graduates may not always wear their medal, but it is an achievement, they say, that they will always remember. Well, the Fulton County Courthouse and the Fulton County Government Building that we're in right now will soon be getting some much needed TLC. FGTV's Brian Robinson explains.
Whether you're serving on a jury, paying for a car tag, or receiving valuable hands-on legal experience, people of all ages visit the county courthouse and the government center on a daily basis. With their safety in mind, much needed upgrades to both buildings have been addressed thanks to the Board of Commissioners' approval of $90 million in urban redevelopment bonds during the July recess meeting.
Motion seconded. Let's vote by show of hands.
Already underway is the extensive exterior restoration of the courthouse, which opened in 1914. Various weather elements and settling have made the repairs necessary.
Over time, the elements, wind, rain, the sun, even the natural settling of the building causes the stones to crack, the mortar and the caulking to deteriorate, and even some of the attachment devices to weaken. And accordingly, that justifies a new exterior restoration.
During the repair work, protection scaffolding will be in place for the next 3 years along the Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and Pryor Street sides of the courthouse. As for the over 30-year-old government center, with vital records and grants division renovations complete and renovations to the tax commissioner's office scheduled to wrap in August, the focus will turn towards the roof, atrium, and entrance doors in the fall. It'll be business as usual for both buildings during the upgrades process, but people are urged to use extra caution upon entering.
I recommend that they be aware of their surroundings, particularly as they walk under the pedestrian way and in areas where repair work is actively underway. Beyond that, just to be patient with the process.
Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, Brian. And so that means when the work here in the government building starts, we will have to find a temporary new home to host this very program. Well, meanwhile, this year's junior deputy clerks are given a grand send-off. The Clerks department said goodbye to the nearly 20 interns who participated in the Junior Deputy Clerks Summer Internship Program. The Junior Deputy Clerk Summer Internship Program started in 2011 and is an initiative of Clerk Kathleen Tina Robinson. In 4 weeks' time, the rising 10th, 11th, and 12th graders engaged in various aspects of local government and the justice system, including listening in on hearings and meeting various law enforcement officials.
So this experience has been great for me. Basically, for anyone that was really looking to kind of discover a law and see kind of it on the local spectrum as well as the state spectrum, it was great for me. We got a lot of court exposure. We met judges and attorneys and councilmen every day, so it was great for me.
Before receiving their certificate and awards, keynote speaker Shaquelle Ross offered some valuable advice.
I spoke to the youth about purpose, moving past popularity and achieving what it is that they were supposed to be intended, who they're supposed to be intended, what they're supposed to be aimed towards, and what they're supposed to do in life. That's your purpose. So you have to move out of the popularity or what's comfortable type stage or what everybody's doing type stage, and you have to move toward into that realm of your purpose.
For information about the Junior Deputy Summer Internship Program for next year, you can call 404-612-5279. And still to come on Fulton Today, Fulton commissioners come up with a plan to deal with opioid abuse in the county. It's a part of our district by district coverage next. Fulton commissioners address the opioid abuse and overdose issue in the county, and some South Fulton kids are motivated to become writers. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves, who continues his second round of community meetings to address the 2017 tax assessment notices. The at-large commissioner met with residents at the Perry Holmes Library and gave them an update on the assessment process since the board took action back in June.
Very robust discussion, conversation. We provided information on the tax assessment process, where we are today. But more importantly, we talked about next steps.
Now, as we mentioned earlier in the show, Fulton commissioners used an old legal statute to direct the Board of Assessors to set values at the 2016 levels after the initial assessment notices had values that in some cases doubled and tripled. Residents wanted to know what to expect now. Residents will be receiving the new notices during the month of August. For more information on the appeal process, visit fultonassessor.org. Meanwhile, Vice Chairman Bob Ellis and Commissioner Liz Hausman sponsor a resolution with the hope of saving young lives in the county. The commissioners introduced an opioid misuse and abuse prevention plan for Fulton County to their board colleagues during the July meeting. The resolution, which was unanimously approved, addresses solutions to a growing opioid epidemic in Fulton County and nationwide.
The idea here is to propose 3 or 4 steps that we adopt now and then work with the task force in terms of identifying some different measures that we can bring back in terms of treatment.
And it is a great starting point, but it is a starting point. What it does is codifies how this government recognizes the crisis that we're in.
The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office identified 154 opioid-related deaths in 2016, an increase of 156% since 2010. In 2015, Fulton County had approximately 11.7 opioid-related deaths per 100,000 residents, more than double the national rate. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. partners with local writers and educators to encourage students to become great writers. The commissioner wrapped up his Right to Rise Young Writers Workshop and competition at the Wolf Creek Library. All of the special guests who've spoken to the kids during the seminars shared how far being a great writer can take them, both in school and in the entertainment industry.
We've done an intensive 6-week program teaching our students how to write, how to find their voice in writing, how to write poetry, and how to just improve their overall writing.
The program today, I had a great time. We talked about elevator pitches, and we all went through blogs, and we all made our own writing posts, and she really helped me with like editing and trying to get more tone and description in my writing, so I really enjoyed the program.
The commissioner hosted this first annual event in conjunction with Friends of Wolf Creek and Opus Cultural Lifestyle magazine. The winners of the competition will be awarded during the closing ceremony next week. District 6 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell joins the national observance of Americans with Disabilities Act. Fulton commissioners presented a proclamation in honor of the day at its July meeting. The Americans with Disabilities Act was signed on July 26, 1990 in the nation's capital as a piece of groundbreaking civil rights legislation protecting the rights of individuals with disabilities.
While we recognize disability, we reject, as you have directed us, we reject a spirit of disability. Our spirit is of victory. Our spirit is of steadfastness until we get where we want to be, and that is in total compliance, not only with the civil law, but with the moral law.
More than 100,000 citizens of Fulton County have at least one disability, and most people will experience a disability at some point in their lifetime. Fulton County and its Office of Diversity and Civil Rights Compliance and the Commission on Disability Affairs are committed to ensuring that the county's physical facilities, programs, services, and activities are all accessible to all members of the public. And still to come on Fulton Today, the vision looks brighter for some kids getting ready to head back to class. We'll explain why when we come back. Well, the final numbers are in, and over 100 kids can now see better just in time for the new school year to begin. Fulton County's first ever Vision to Learn partnership is being deemed a success.
Vision to Learn was founded 5 years ago by Austin Buettner in Los Angeles. Our mission is to provide vision exams and glasses free of charge to children in low-income communities.
County leaders and other local representatives announced just how well the program worked for area kids. Over 300 children received eye exams and screenings, with 159 children identified as needing eyeglasses.
I couldn't see when I was in class. I was squinting, and then this wonderful Vision to Learn, they helped me get some glasses.
The children in need of corrective eyewear were allowed to choose their own frames following their exams, and eyeglasses were presented to 75 young people during a special ceremony.
15% of children across the nation are in need of glasses and have some type of vision impairment. However, what we've seen in Georgia is that the number is more closer to 35%.
The inaugural class of the Fulton County Manager's Professional Management Program hosted the event, and Fox 5 weekend anchor Deidre Dukes served as the mistress of ceremonies. And speaking of class starting next week, the county's Board of Health is reminding parents that they can still get those required vaccinations at 2 county health centers. The vaccinations and screenings are affordably priced and are given on a first-come, first-served basis during regular business hours at the College Park Regional Health Center and the North Fulton Regional Health Center. Families may pay for the immunizations and health examinations using cash or credit or debit cards. Georgia Medicaid, Peach Care for kids are also accepted. Private insurance, however, is not. Maximum cost of immunizations is $21.93. Cost of a physical exam is $56, and cost of health exams are $31, and they include vision, hearing, dental, and nutrition screenings, and of course, a sliding fee scale is available. And more good news for the health department. They have a brand new director of communications for the entire Board of Health Fulton County Division. Her name is Alicia Alston, and she joins us right now here on Fulton Today. Alicia, welcome to the county.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
So first things first, let's tell everybody about your brand new role here.
Well, I am coming on board for the Fulton County Board of Health as the District Communications Director, and I am so excited as we have rebranded ourselves, as we have a new look, we have a new logo. I am really looking forward to just streamlining our communications, getting our services out to the public, letting them know that they have access, letting them know about our new building at 10 Park Place. We have a new clinic, a new lab. We have the new vital records over at the Government Center. And so just really promoting all of the wonderful things that are now going on at the Fulton County Board of Health.
And you guys have a lot of projects and initiatives going on. What will you try to focus on in the first 100 days?
So the focus for the next 100 days is twofold. One, internally, is to promote our Values Champion Awards among our employees. And we want them to really focus on integrity, teamwork, innovation, excellence, and being customer service focused. And so we know that with doing that, then the public is going to be served. Secondly, externally, we want to let them know that our great services are still available around HIV, STD, TB, and all of the services that we have available here at 10 Park Place and our other 9 health centers.
And speaking of some of the major projects, anyone in particular you want to talk about that's coming up?
I would say right now we're in the process of doing an assessment, working with our community partners, working with our employees internally, and making sure that we're working together in unity. So the major project really in terms of rebranding, now that we have our new mission, all people are healthy, our vision, we just want to come together as an agency and work in unity. So the biggest project is just to make sure that the public knows that we're here, know that they have access to the services, and that we're promoting it and educating the public in a way that they can benefit.
And Alicia, let me get your final thoughts.
Final thoughts are, I'm just looking forward to aligning all of our plans with the county plan, with the state plan, so that the public knows that we are really here to be of service to them. And so I'm excited about being in this position, working with community partners, even with our pitch grant. We're looking forward to continuing the great work that was established by that program and just moving forward in a very positive way so that the public is the greatest benefactor.
Alicia Alston, again, great to have you on the county team, and thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
And still to come on Fulton Today, parents and children say goodbye to all the summer fun with a little bit of laughter. We'll explain. Stay with us, everybody. Well, all good things when it comes to reading sometimes must come to an end. To officially wrap up this year's summer reading program, officials at the OC Branch Library helped parents and children prepare for a new school year. So before the entertainment began, a free backpack check presentation was offered. Dr. Steve Goninen from the Alexander Spine Center stressed the importance of wearing a backpack correctly to avoid future problems.
Generally speaking, the rule of thumb is you don't want the backpack to weigh more than 15% of the child's total body weight. So if you have a 100-pound child, you don't want the backpack to be more than 15 pounds.
The doctor says the proper way to carry a backpack is to use both straps and that it should be snug to the upper mid-back as much as possible while using a sternum strap or a lumbar strap. After the presentation, attendees experienced fun with laughter with the help of magic acts, puppetry, and Louie the Clown, who stressed the importance of what else? Reading.
The importance of reading books is a big deal. Number one, so you don't wind up doing what I do. And number two, so that you can further your education, become an awesome person, and help build the better world in many different ways.
Sponsored by the OC Friends Group and the AFPLS Foundation, this event provided the perfect distraction for those back-to-school blues. And finally, the Atlanta Hawks Foundation is also scoring big with parents and children. The Hawks Foundation and the county's Parks and Recreation teamed up at the Welcome All Park to host a backpack donation for 500 summer campers and youth in the community.
In this community, as well as other communities, there may be times where parents may not be able to afford book bags. And the book bags are not only book bags. They're these nice book bags with the hawk symbol and the stripes going out. So they have swag. They're the swag book bags, I would like to say.
Hawks legend and Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins, along with Harry the Hawk and the Hawks cheerleaders, assisted in handing out the backpacks. Each one contained 2 composition notebooks, a Hawks branded folder, a bracelet, crayons, index cards, glue sticks, markers, pencils, and a pencil sharpener. In addition to the backpacks, the guests were treated to an afternoon of interactive games, entertainment, food, and music. Now, in 2015, Welcome All Park received a new basketball court courtesy of the Atlanta Hawks Foundation's court renovation program. Since then, the professional team has hosted yearly basketball camps serving over 200 boys and girls ages 7 to 15. Now that is a good backpack. Now before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. You can watch a replay of this show and other FGTV programs anytime on our YouTube channel. And be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.